Um, AVAV hasn't lost structure. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. It's pulled down with the market today. And that's something else I mentioned in my last video, that as much as there's picks that we've got and we hope for good things like Walmart and McDonald's, Costco are rotation plays. But anything tech related, I think AVAV is going to still do well as we get closer to SpaceX. I'm expecting that we should get back up here to 222. Having said that, if the macro falls apart and the market flushes, everything's going to have some downdraft to it. So just keep that in mind as you take a position. SoFi. I would say this. I also said it in my video recently. I said some of you, who are trying to daily swing trade, if we go down for 2 or 3 weeks now, just be careful. Do you know how to? Are you able to do inverse ETFs? Are you able to do puts? Because we've enjoyed like 2 straight months of weekly candles going straight up. That I think has kind of come to an end. I don't think this week is clearly not going to close green. I don't think next week will close green. We'll see. And if you are not in a position to profit from down move in the market, you should sit on your hands and stop trying to find rockets that are going higher, because we just had literally 2 straight months of it. Okay, SoFi. I did a great video. I can't remember if it was in the welcome to the Discord video, but it's when I took you guys back to here, and I said then, this was the $6 range that I first became an investor in SoFi, right? This is actually when I first started talking about it on my show. And I said then, we are based on the RSI, we're going to be range bound on SoFi for the next 3 months, okay, or longer, 3 to 6 months. And I said the $16 is the new $6 price for SoFi. And we've come as low as $14.99. I would say that we're range bound, and you could do this 2 different ways, right? Remember Intel. INTC. I think this is when I really began to teach this principle. It's basically checkmate pattern. You got a leg down, you got a period of consolidation. Somewhere along the way, we'll get a leg up. Okay. That's really the way that works. Now, there's no guarantee that we will, but the main thing I want to draw to you guys is I traded this and talked about it not too long ago. If you go back in the gold alerts, took a position here and we ran it up. I already took profit on this. SoFi did not quite make the 1990. 1990 is the top of the range. If we come back to anything under 15, in my opinion, just like it was back here, the low was $4.82. It was just under $5. Look at the low now, just under $15. Everything's playing out exactly as I said. 16 is the new 6. And when we were back here, we consolidated from April 4th to June. So June 2023, April 2022. So almost a full year we consolidated at this level. And every once in a while, like right now, we only hit the top of the range twice. Back then, the top of the range was $8.50. Right now, the top of the range is $20. And we hit the bottom of the range 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 to 6 times, if you count these two, 4 to 6 times we got very close to the bottom of the range, which is this $16 to $15 mark. And so I really expect this to move sideways, and it literally might move sideways for 6 months. I don't think this is going to be a quick turnaround. It wasn't back here, and people got into despair. They hated it. I think SoFi for accumulation into 2027 for a return to 30 makes sense. I just think you have to have a very long-term view. Now, if you don't want to have a long-term view and you're not interested in accumulating, then the only thing that you have when dealing with SoFi is to take risk at 15 and to sell it around 19 to 20. So you buy anytime it dips under 15 and you sell anytime it touches 19. And, maybe you rinse and repeat that literally over the course of the next year or 6 months. You might be able to rinse and repeat that 6 times, 4 to 6 times. Personally, I did trade this because I thought, dear Lord, we're under 16. This makes sense to me to go higher. I got in and I got out. If it comes back to under 16, I will alert the Discord. I'm going to take risk on it every time it drops beneath 16. I'll probably buy 2,000-3,000 shares. And when I see, $5,000, $6,000, I'm probably going to sell it and call it a day. I do have SoFi in my long-term account that I just intend to hold. I haven't been buying too much more recently. If it pulls back, I'll probably nibble a couple shares there too. You have any thoughts on SoFi you want to share, Mike?
I don't, brother. I just follow you on it. I don't chart it very well.
I don't want to say, obviously I don't know what'll happen, but I promise you guys what I just gave you is very likely what's going to happen with SoFi. Very, very likely. We're just going to consolidate in that range. And it makes a ton of sense. It's what we did in the past. We had this big move up, went down, consolidated, made a higher high. Now we've come back down. We're consolidating. Sometime in 2027, I think we'll make a higher high. But you need patience when dealing with SoFi. On that point, we out of here.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys, Mike. What is? So tell me about your recent videos. I didn't catch your most recent video. What was that about?
Oh my gosh, I don't remember. You gonna put me on the spot? I did some crypto levels, man. I did Bitcoin, SUI. I think I've covered.
What'd you say about SUI?
Mikey's buying, brother. Mikey's buying.
You
all the way down.
SUI? You're gonna make me go look at the SUI chart. Hold on a second.
80, 60, and 40, brother. Loading heavy.
Brother, I'm not buying no SUI. Give me a go look at it. I'll admit that it's a little attractive down here. I'll admit that.
Because I'm gonna tell you, when she's back up between $3 and $5, I'm gonna be laughing.
Well, first of all,
it's long. It's long hold. This is not trades. This is not a trade.
Okay,
guys.
All right. So you're investing.
I am investing. This will be for the whole cycle.
I'm glad you clarified that.
I
think that we will hit. So let me go into that chart real quick. You pulled me back in, Mike. That's your fault. That's your fault. I think it makes a ton of sense for Mike to buy here. My intention was to buy under 60 cents. And ideally as close to 50 cents as possible. My intention was to buy $10,000 worth of SUI. I don't own 1 penny of SUI right now. As I sit here and look at this chart, and I tell you, I kind of agree with what Mike's saying. I mean, we definitely know we're at the bottom. Whether it comes 10 cents down, I don't see why SUI wouldn't get back to $4.38. And when you start thinking about it that way.
You know what I hear, Josh?
Tell me.
I hear you saying 2 or 3 years ago, what's it matter if Bitcoin's at 17K or 13K? When I know SUI is going to be back between $4 and $5. So
how much should I buy, Mike? How much do you think I should buy?
I'm doing between 10 and 15K per coin.
I can't let Mike do more than me. I'm more of a SUI guy. No, I'm just kidding. SUI.
Yeah, you got me started on it, brother. I mean,
all right, I'm going up. I'm doubling my ante. I'm gonna do 20K in it. The thing is, I just believe that we got a lot of winter ahead of us still.
We do. I think we do. And it's a long, slow. If people aren't patient, then you probably shouldn't buy right now. And I made that clear with my team. And anytime I've advertised this is a long hold. And if my average ends up being somewhere between $1 and 40 cents, that put me an average of about 70 cents or so, guys.
Let's look at the percentage down. Because I'm making business decisions right now.
Yes, sir.
All right. So 95% is what all of these coins do.
Yep.
All right. So we know that. I mean, I've been through a couple cycles and I've seen all the best projects still go down 95%. When we do that, Mike, it goes 28 cents. That's why I didn't. I want to pick up 10 to 20K, but I think what I've been inspired to do is I'm going to put in a limit order of 16,000 at 29 cents. And if it hits, it hits.
Yep.
And I'm just going to go.
I'm doing the DCA version is
I
what I'm
like what
doing.
you're doing. I do. And I think most retail would do better. I don't know if you caught my show last night, but I was a little bit, I agree. I like what everything Mark is saying, but one of my thoughts, I'm going to pull my face up,
Mm,
is I know retail because I was retail. And,
mm.
I know emotional trading. I know that you want to wait till you get green candles to confirm that something's
Yep.
not dead. And nobody likes to buy red candles. People are not that confident. And Mark is a seasoned guy. He's been through a couple cycles. And so his plan to wait for October makes sense. Okay, because he's also got discretionary income that he can move around and drop in a single evening. The majority of people who are listening to my voice simply don't have that luxury. They don't have
Yep.
that focus and they don't have that time. And
Yep.
so I am actually taking some time to advocate Mike's approach, which is, if you give yourself 5 months to accumulate an asset
Yep.
that's down, it's down 90.
It's down pretty far right now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's down 87%, okay? And even if it could get that additional 5% down, if you don't put a business plan together to start investing in an asset like this, you won't. You'll just wait until you hear about it. It's up $2. It'll be back
That's
to
right.
$2 in, let's say, and it'll do that overnight. So we say like November of this
Yeah.
year, you'll hear Mike and I talk about it. Hey, we'll be over here celebrating. Woohoo! I bought in 20K at 29 cents and it'll be
Yeah.
$2. Okay. I'll already be
Yeah.
up like 10x. And
Yeah.
I'm given targets for it to hit $4. And
Yeah.
I agree with Mike. The candles are pointing straight down. It's 90% down. This is the time to be pumped. You can't wait till XRP pays the OnlyFans girls more money to pump crypto.
That's right, brother.
Listen, hand on the Bible. I never did nothing with no OnlyFans. I'm referencing it because it was one of the most shocking things to see all these people get psyched up on XRP when what was really behind it was them using some pretty sly and
Yeah.
mischievous marketing tactics. I know there's some people in here that are going to get mad at me for even saying that about XRP, but if you wait for that type of crypto nonsense to put a business plan together, you're just part of that emotional up and down
Yeah.
army. And I've never been part of that. That's not my journey on YouTube. It's not my philosophy. Mike's not that way. I love Sui. So Sui, Tau, Solana are the only cryptos that I've got on my radar to invest in. Not to say that there aren't other projects. They're just the ones I've chosen.
Yep.
And Sui is my fourth. So it basically has been Bitcoin. I think Tau and Solana are both in number 2, and Sui is in the fourth crypto in third
Yep.
place after those. And I was kind of going to ignore it until I got my Bitcoin bag full, and then I was going to focus on it after.
Yep.
But I agree with Mike. Consider really, really thinking, how much can I put in? Folks don't have 5K to drop on this.
No, and that's what I had to do the last time, Josh. I worked an extra job and I played shows, and all of my side money, man, went in. That's before you ever knew me. Before I was following you, and went for that entire winter, and all my extra money. If I'd get $200 or $300 on the weekend, or $400 to play 2 shows on the weekend, I put every bit of it into my crypto.
And when you say, Mike, that kind of gave you the seed money that really gave birth to this journey you're on right now?
That is exactly right. That is exactly what happened. I 3x'd and 4x'd everything, and I didn't even have the best coins.
Nope.
I did not. I had
That's
ETH.
when we had Cardano and all that crap.
ADA, Matic, and
Yep. Polygon. Polygon, and then AVAX. We were doing some of that nonsense.
I 3x'd ADA, Cardano.
Yep.
And that was a junk coin, and I still 3x'd it. So I picked a few good ones, like Josh was talking about. I just try to. I'm not going to chase every little micro crazy coin. I'm just going to pick 4 or 5 solid ones that I think I can 3 to 5x on. I'm not getting greedy. You can do that really solid with a long-term plan. Give yourself, like Josh said, 5, 6, 7 months, and that gives you time to dollar cost average into it, and you're not trying to scrounge up. I've met people, man, that go and max a credit card
Yep.
out at the top of the Bitcoin cycle, thinking, "Oh, this is going, this is going." That starting right now is that you got time. Time is on your hand, but when time runs out, it's not, you're buying the top and you're chasing. So I would rather the people that listen to me a little bit, it's a good dollar cost average season right now.
I would love to challenge now. I got to be very careful because I don't want to. Nothing I say is a suggestion for you to buy, sell, or hold. But I'll use it this way. I think it's not unrealistic for anybody who's employed, who has any type of stable
Mhm.
income. It wouldn't be unrealistic for them to put in a minimum of $2,000 to $2,500 into SUI over the
Mhm.
course of the next 5 to 6 months. And I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna challenge my kids. And by kids, I mean I've got all adults who are between 24 and 30, and I count my son-in-laws, and I've got a ton of adopted sons. If my my life is filled with adoptive 30-year-old sons. I'm going to challenge that group of people that I influence on a personal level. I'm going to really
Yeah.
challenge them to get a minimum of $2,000
Yeah.
into a project like SUI over the next 5 months.
Yeah.
And that might be $50 a week,
Yeah.
because I think honestly that 2,000
It's going to
by
turn to 8 to 10K, man.
it could turn
Yeah.
easily it could turn to 10K. It could
Mhm.
even go 20K.
Mhm. Yeah, if
And
SUI makes a new high this time,
yes,
you
yeah.
know?
If SUI, I'll give you perspective. So I talked about 29 cents. If you put in 2K at 29 cents and it made a new high. So yeah, appreciate this, Mike, for a minute. If we
Mhm.
go to my target of $5.62, we'll say, yeah, that is a 1900% return. So if it hit $6, which I think it would reasonably hit, as long as they don't do too much with the supply, if
Yeah.
they manage to not, multiply the supply by 2 to 3x, if they keep the supply moderate, that's a 2000% return, which means that $2,000 would be 20x,
Yeah, that's pretty
10x,
10x, yeah.
10x. I
You're
apologize. So
pretty
yeah, you're talking about, that's not bad. That's 2,000 to 20,000, right?
it's more than what you had, that's right.
That's more than what it's more than what you had. More than what you
More
had.
than
So
what
what
you
would I
had.
get, Mike? If I get my 20K into SUI, I'm committed. I was committed to 10. Mike's throwing out 15. All right. If I put in, that would get me, what would that be? 20K. That would get me to 200,000, right?
20K. Yeah, 200 grand.
Hmm. Okay.
It's the easiest money I've ever made. The last
Yeah.
crypto cycle, easiest money I've ever made.
I love that point as
And
well. And then we'll wrap this show up. But I always talk about the easy money and the
yep.
harder money. Risk
Yep.
gets harder. Like right now, going into today and next week, it's going to be harder because we're going to be looking to go long on things when the market's kind of pulling back. So
Yeah.
and then we don't want to be too bearish because we're still in a hot market and we still have the SpaceX. So from
This those
today till
times.
the end of next week, in my opinion, this is hard money territory.
It
We might
is, and
get
it's a
lucky. We
trader
might find some rockets.
yeah.
I'm going to trade the SpaceX. I might make a little bit of money. But the easier money, when we were just trending up for the last 2 months, that is 100% behind us right now. I
Yeah.
think the next week is going to be a harder week. And I said it in one of my last videos. I said, some of you should sit on your hands. Some of you should just reduce your position size because it's going
Yep.
to be trickier. I know I've done this long enough to know when things are easy and when things are going to get hard. It's going to be hard next week.
Gonna be a trader's game. Catch
Yeah.
a few good trades.
So
And
as a side note, I wanted to answer. So I'm up 18,000 on my SOXS today alone. So it's 18,000 today. Now, the question is, am I in profit yet on my total position? The answer is no. I'm still down. but we're having a pretty good day, and it wouldn't shock me if tomorrow I'm in profit. But here, I want you to understand, every day I've got a daily profit goal, and I've only missed that goal 2 times in the last month. Okay, so I hit my goal. So even though I went down nearly 30,000 on my SOXS trade, which sounds like a lot to you guys, even though I went down on that consistently as I bought in, I'm now 18,000 up on it, but my account is higher right now than it was when I first took that position 2 weeks ago. Do you understand? So now that 18,000 actually feels like brand new money because it's pushing me up today, even though it's money that was essentially borrowed out of my account. And
Yep.
I'm going to post it in the Discord. I'm up 18,000. If we pop another dollar, I'll be in total profit tomorrow. If we go $2, then I'll have had almost a 60,000 move in 36 hours, and I'll post something as a goat alert to update my final walkaway take on it. But it seems to be going the way that I thought it would go. The only thing that causes me some nervousness with this, and I'll hold this through till profit, is the fact that we do have Micron's earnings. Do you know when that's at, Mike?
MU's earnings?
Yeah, let me look real quick.
I'll find out for you, brother. Go ahead.
So I think that
That is June the 24th, brother.
yes, it's a ways off. But I would
2
tell you
weeks out.
that if Micron falls a bit more today, kind of would be tempted to lock this in and wait for their earnings and an additional pop to go back in and go again. So we've had literally a drop from the top on Micron. We've dropped 16% in 3 days. So, you know, I think I would love to see this come back to 820. And if this got anywhere near 820, I would lock in my SOX trade because I think that we might get a bounce as we move closer to Micron, and SanDisk's earnings, I think, are around the corner too. So that's the only change I'll make in this trade. Yeah, that's the only trade. It's working really well. I'm expecting to cash in some big bucks on it. We'll see. Mike, are you doing anything with any inverse plays right now?
Just on the short term, we've been in and out of SOXS and SQs, kind of in and out of them. So, not buying and holding right yet for any length of time. Maybe a few days at a time or something. But I gave levels yesterday and the day before on SOXS. And, yeah, just playing them as they come.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
I have
what
a
happens.
lady. Well, I won't say her name. I have a person that she had held SOXS. I just want people to realize these are not made to hold for years.
No.
And these inverse plays are good trades. And she has an average of above $100 and some, which will never come back.
No.
It can't.
No.
So you can't hold those leveraged, especially inverse leveraged. Sometimes a few days or a couple weeks or something. If you get on a good run with them, you can do good. But they're not made to buy.
So can I give you the exact plan?
Mm-hmm.
If this is the bottom for SOXS, it will only run up a maximum of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. That is your total profit window. So if it's bottomed and if we have a stress test to the semiconductors, you have to fully enter and lock in under 10 trading days. Yeah. After that, we will go on to make a lower low. Go on to make a lower low. The majority of institutional money actually shorts these types of inverse plays because they constantly drop over time. Why? Because the market's always going up over time.
That's right. It's natural, right? Yep. For the market to want to go up.
It has to do with GDP, money printing, increase of corporate size. Even though this is the 7th or 8th, someone asked me about Nike, and I do feel like I've given my exact Nike trade, but this person,
Yeah.
where is my switcher to get? Here we
40,
go.
41 bucks, maybe 40, 41 or something like
Yeah.
that.
So I
If it
gave
holds
this
it.
in a video, Nike, INTC, all of this is that same type of thing to me where you get the big leg down, you get into a box. I took risk here. I told everybody that it's possible that this could, 46.67. I said we have to open and close a candle above it if we're going to confirm to go to 53. Okay. Which was possible. Okay. But I said that what we were doing with this was range trading. And same thing we're doing with SoFi. And I said, I said, raise your stop loss, right? Get prepared that this is the top of the range. This is resistance. Sure enough, the very next day it came below. Now I took a trade live. It was like a Wednesday, and there was a spot where it could have bounced. I think it was 46.67. I gave it a shot. It came down. It went up. I was in about $1,000 profit, and then it faded. I put my stop loss in. It came and kicked me, and I have not been in this since. And it's been falling, right? It's underneath the 9. Today we're breaking lower. In my last video, I said we didn't hold 46.67. We didn't hold this level. I don't have it marked. We didn't hold 44.25. I said this pretty much confirms we're coming back to the bottom of the range. And I told everybody that I will look to take position again between 42 and 40. That's the game plan with Nike. It's not, I promise you it won't change. I promise you I'm going to take position when I see us underneath 42 exactly. It's sitting at 42.81. So very soon we'll be watching this.
Yeah.
And if you ask me what do I think will happen, I think we'll bounce. I really think we'll bounce here, and I think that we'll go back up and we'll test this. We are I don't believe that Nike has another big leg down. But we'll see. If I come in here and I enter at 42, maybe I won't enter at 42. Maybe I'll enter in at 41, 60, right? Stop loss, probably close to 38 to 39, because if we did lose this area, then yes, we would make another leg down, even though I don't know why we would. But my plan is to rinse and repeat between 40 and 46 again. This was a very successful trade. I'd love to do it again. And it's sort of setting up to do it again.
Yep.
Just got to be patient with it. If you
That's
didn't
right.
sell and you didn't take profit, one, I'd like you to consider why you did that. Two, more than likely we're going to bounce here at 42. That's the best I can give you. All right, Mike, I'm going to stay completely quiet. Would you please close out our show?
Much love, my friends. I appreciate you. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for being here every day. I love to come on here with Josh. Josh, thanks for having me, my friend.
Mike, someone said, how do I join your class tomorrow?
It's on my Money Mike channel on the Discord. The link is probably the last thing I posted. You can go back one. I'll post it again today. You can just click the link, and if you want to join the class, I go between 2. You can ask anybody in here. I have went up to 4 hours before. I usually go 2.5 to 3 hours on these classes. The whole thing's taught on TradingView, and it's done over open Google Meet or Zoom. You can participate, talk, ask questions. So I love doing the group sessions. I learn during the groups, like it is, somebody always asks something that you never think of. So I love the group sessions. You can click on the link and register for it. And if you do register for it, you'll return to WAP that morning, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Umar Shami said, Mike, do you think SOXL is good to buy today for next week?
SOXL.
That's the opposite of SOXS. It's sort of going towards the MU earnings with the expectation of a pop.
Yeah, if you got a good reaction off of 207, I think you got some support at 207. Matter of fact, that's the 20 EMA right now on the daily. Pretty close. 206.50, 207. You could pop off that for a bit of a bounce, but you just lost the 9 EMA. you just lost 60 on the RSI, and the MACD is about to roll over. It's not yet, but it's about to roll over. So I'm a little risk off right now, Josh.
Me too.
I
I
think
will
it could
say,
bounce off
guys,
206 for a
I
trade.
did you take that BlackBerry with me, Mike?
I did not get it, brother.
Man, I was in that a couple thousand shares. I added 3,000 shares yesterday, and not yesterday, but 2 days ago, and that thing jumped from 13 to 15.24. We had a $2 move on my last ad, so that's a huge win. I did get stopped out last night. I did a post, guys, and I hate to get out of a trade that's hot, and I love to ride it to the end. I rode this one with a nice position size up, and it got further than I thought it would. Now there's nothing structurally wrong with BB right now. It's just that I got further than I thought. I put a stop loss in, and it took me. Now, I'll spend some time charting to get a sense of what might happen next. But one, if you rode BB with me, congratulations. That was a ridiculous win. We literally we added and we got an additional, $2.50 move, $3 move. So just mind blowing move on BlackBerry. Having said that, technically I'm not in it right now, and I got to figure out when to get back in. That's hard. If you're still in it, you got to do what you got to do. You can hold. I don't know that the move's over. Matter of fact, Mike, I heard that the president shouted out BlackBerry.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And he's a really good stock picker, that guy.
Yeah.
If he put a YouTube show on, if he started a Discord, I promise you I would join. He could charge whatever he wants.
It don't bother me, brother. I make money. I'm fine.
People were, I know people get political, and I think
I don't care
Nancy
who's
Pelosi's not
there.
running again or something, and they were like, "Oh, good." I'm like, "Oh no, we need Nancy.
I need
Nancy's
my stock picks." Yeah,
I hope Trump keeps giving them to us. Yeah, so he jumped on BlackBerry. It might have what gave us this additional $3 move. Having said that, I want to be in BlackBerry. I'm not in it right now, so I might talk about it in today's video. So guys, watch that for later. Mike, I might, I got family and relatives coming over tomorrow, but I'm gonna see if I can pop my head in and watch a little bit of your show tomorrow.
Awesome, brother. The guys, it will be recorded. I record every one of my classes. And Pixie Point, I seen your message you put in there 15 times. Being a VIP, this is a charge. I do a charged class for this. It's a long class, and it's Saturday mornings. That's one of my paid classes. Most of the time, if someone has really struggled and they can't afford it or swing it, and you need help, if you reach out to me, I've been pretty generous. So
Mike is wildly generous.
If you reach out to me and you can't afford it, but don't be saying you're making big money over here in live streams and saying you can't swing a class. So if you need the help, though, I've been very generous to everybody. I always am, always will be. So that's just how I am.
I see somebody asking for Poet. I'll talk about Poet again in my video today. Poet popped up to like $15 the other day because it was overly shorted. I don't want to give you an incorrect number, but I heard some crazy number of shorts had piled in on Poet, and so that's why it jumped. So I will give you some analysis on Poet and BB today and the overall market. Thank you so much, Mike. I look forward to tomorrow. Peace and blessings, my friends.